What up, everybody? It's been a little bit, but we do now have fully fledged out Redhulks. We got the yellow stars, we got the red stars, and I wanted to talk about them, and most importantly, Redhulk and how he's interacting, particularly with that pass of the ult, and how to handle two matches. I think the most important matches, for War anyway, are going to be Dormhold, and we're going to be the mirror matchup. We're going to get through that. I've done literally hours of testing the mirror matchup. It gets really yucky. I think I found the best way to go about it, so I'm happy to share that with you guys. Another thing we're going to do in this video, the first thing we're going to do is talk about ISO 8 and T4s, because everyone keeps asking me about that. I do think I have the best answers for that as far as War offense goes. As far as War defense goes, it's going to be a little bit different. And as far as the Apocalypse team goes for Redhulk, that'll be different too. We're going to slightly touch on that, because it's a lot of speculation till we know, Archangel's kit and Apocalypse kit. So we're going to do that. We're going to have some fun. So hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Alright guys, so this is always the toughest part. ISO recommendations. T4s are not that hard, but the ISO recommendations are tough for this team. We're going to start with the toughest one, Redhulk. So as far as T4s go, everything but the basic, though I do love the basic, and I did do it myself. It is a lot more damage, which is nice. In War, especially, and really only, if you're using them on offense, I like Striker. I think that's the better one in War on offense. I caution against bringing him up to ISO level 4 or beyond with Striker or with any, because we don't know about the Horseman yet, and I know that's the boring thing, but he is so up in the air as to what he should be, especially since Morgan is definitely a better striker in what she does, though maybe Morgan's going to need the focus. Rogue is a terrible striker compared to the other two, so she's definitely not going to be a striker. So it's up in the air on who we're going to get vulnerables from, who we're going to use to soak up those vulnerables, so I would not put ISO Blue 4 or 5 on Redhulk. I already put ISO Blue 4 Raider on him before I did too much testing, and I kind of regret it, though I do feel safe in him as Raider for the Horseman team. It does work out in the arena. But I digress. For War offense, I like Striker. Then Braun, we want everything but the basic T4. It's all very important to his kit. And I like him as a skirmisher for the simple fact that the Hulks get so much resistance, and I really like him landing his buff strips. And that's really about it. And most importantly, I don't want him eating up vulnerables. And giving some vulnerables is great. Then we have She-Hulk. You just need her passive done. Nothing else really affects her kit much, and her damage is lackluster when you compare it to her other teammates and the health that your enemies are likely to have. I also like her as a skirmisher. Similar reasons I want her to land those debuffs when she does her passive. She already gets a huge amount of focus, so she doesn't necessarily need it, but I like it as a cushion, and again, I just don't want her eating up vulnerables. Her only AoE attack is her special, and even then, I think it just does turn me to rewind. I don't think it actually does damage on it, so I like her as a skirmisher. Don't want her to eat vulnerables up. Then we have Hulk. I really like the special, though it is just damage. It does make him clear more debuffs, which is great in certain matchups, but in the mirror matchup isn't super beneficial, but I still like it as a T4. And I really like his passive. It makes his healing and his speed bar much more intense. And I do like him as a striker. His striker attack does very little, but his damage is very high, and he's good at killing people. He just is. Alternatively, you could also make him a skirmisher. You can make him a healer. In the mirror matchup, I don't quite think it matters what he is, but when you're facing the Dorkhold team, I really like him as a striker. Then we have Abomination. For him, I like everything but the basic, and I think he's a no-brainer Raider. He's the only one that I'm like dead set. Raider A-Bomb makes the most sense. It's great. It's good damage. It builds into his kit. You get lots of vulnerables when you use that special, so it helps you a lot in that regard. So just right off the bat, there's your ISO 8 recommendations and your T4s with a brief explanation. Alright guys, so here we go with Gamma's, I guess, intended purpose, but it's definitely not going to be it. Hopefully this is the matchup you're going to have to take, the hardest matchup you'll have to take if you don't have them mandated to be defense, which they probably are going to be a defense if you're in the competitive scene, which I think is the minority of players, so I want to show you guys how this plays out. This is a 200k punch up. It is just practice mode, but it's very, very, very easy. I have a way that I like to do it. I'm not sure if it's the most necessary route, but it's what I like to do. So I want to get this revive off of Morgan. I don't really care where she is. Even if she's in the corner and I'm only hitting 2 people with this rewind, that's unfortunate, but getting her down is great. So let's go ahead and get that off of her. It's now gone. A-bomb now stuns the Morgan. Also puts defense down on her, which is great. Braun will use his percentile damage to go ahead and take her super low. And I do think that is bypassing the stealth from Agatha. I do believe that Morgan is low enough currently to warrant the stealth, but it's just not doing it. So let's try and test that theory, do an attack and do another attack. Well, she's dead. So that's kind of one of the reasons I like Hulk as a striker. And another reason why I like Redhulk as a striker is because he gets to do that. And he hits a bunch of abilities off. He hits twice. But that's only in war and only on his team. I do think he's going to be a raider on the Horseman team, which is why I don't feel super bad about having him as a level 4 raider already. It is what it is. Anyway, so here comes the battlefield effects. And this is where the enemy team just starts melting. So we get rid of Dormammu. Honestly, I found that even with Dormammu alive and with his charges, the extra resistance that Gamma gets, they're not really phased by his passive all that much. But then you see, we chunked Wong to death. We took out his revive as well. I kind of whiffed my Hulk's revive. I wasn't even thinking about it. His revive steal, I should emphasize. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. Let's get it off of Morgan. Oh, nope, she died to it. So I guess she still gets to res. Unfortunate. But yeah, this is just, it's a complete domination matchup. This is a 200k punch up. I suppose you might be doing higher. Maybe my Gamma team is overdeveloped, so it's not a good standard. But I still think this is going to be very easy wins across the board. So I do hope this is a matchup you have to take. But just in case it's not, let's go look at the mirror matchup. And I'll show you what I do for the mirror matchup. I think it's the most consistent. I've gone back and forth through different methods, but in my head, well, let's gray out. Let's go find the matchup. So quickly, in reading the Redhulk passive, you might be under the impression that he should get an additional charge for being attacked if he and a Gamma ally are being attacked. That is not the way it's working in-game, so I want to show you how that goes. Redhulk is only getting 2 charges if he is the primary target attacked. So let's go ahead and show you that. You'll see my Redhulk has 0 charges. Enemy Redhulk is going to hit my Redhulk and hit the Hulk, and then you see only 1 charge. So he didn't get 2 there. We'll show it again right now. I'll use the A-bomb special. You see the enemy Redhulk had 1 charge. He now has 2. However, you may be thinking like some passives don't activate other passives. Is that going to be the case here? No. She-Hulk passive will give a charge. Counterattacks will give a charge. ISO attacks don't, because that's considered the same attack. So what I just want to show next, if possible, is the enemy She-Hulk hitting my Hulk. That didn't happen because he had offense down, unfortunately. But he would have got 2 there. So you'll see that in the footage we're going to do later, where we're going to show how to actually do this mirror matchup. All right, guys, I just want to add a little bit on what we just said, and I can't redo the war practice footage because I'm now in a war and I want to get this video out. So I just wanted to touch on battlefield effects, the ultimate, the priority, what we're trying to accomplish, and we'll talk a little bit more about charges just now that I've digested it a little bit more even still. So you want to ult first. That is our goal. We want to manipulate the fight so that we're ulting first. And there is a misconception that when in the mirror matchup, if you ult and then the enemy Redhulk ults, it's going to clear the battlefield effects. That's not how it works. So when you ult, it applies the battlefield effects and it clears the battlefield effects on the enemy side. Okay? But we're only applying the ult to the enemy side. We don't have it on our side. So when you do it, you're applying it to the enemy side. When the enemy Redhulk does it, he's applying it to your side. So both teams will be affected by the gamma radiation. The next thing I want to talk about is what the gamma radiation actually does, because there does seem to be either a bug or maybe it's intended. Whatever the way it is, it's wonky. And in doing so, I got to give a shout out to Inception and Commander 123 from the Discord. They did some testing. They were finding that the 250% piercing damage is derived from the character that it's damaging. It's not derived from your Redhulks damage or the enemy Redhulks damage, whichever side we're talking about at the time. So we have some examples of a Bullseye in Dark Dimension. Clearly it's his damage, because otherwise it'd be so much more from Redhulk. And then Commander 123 went a step further, and he was testing against the Symbiote Spider-Man with offense up, without offense up, and he was finding the damage discrepancy there. So big shout out to those guys. That's important to know. So now we have a better idea of how much damage is going to be coming out. Because if it was Redhulk, it would be a lot more, and it'd be even more important to make sure we're ulting first. And just another quick talk about the charges. I think it's a bug. I don't know if they're going to fix it or leave it as is, because the way it reads, when attacked, you should gain 1 charge. So when Redhulk is attacked. And then in war, when he's attacked, he should actually gain 2 instead of just 1. And he should also gain a charge when a Gamma ally is attacked. There's no or statement here, so it should be happening every single check. So in the example we just saw, Redhulk is hit by an adjacent attack and another Gamma ally is hit. In my mind, Redhulk should be gaining 3 charges. That's not the case. He's only ever gaining maximum of 2 charges if he is the primary target. Even if he's hit by AoE like we saw, it doesn't count. So just keep that in mind, and you do want to ult first, because the battlefield effects don't clear. The sooner you get it out, the sooner those bleeds are attacking your enemy, the sooner you're going to win. So it's going to be very important. We're going to see in the mirror matchup the way I position it, why I position it. We'll talk about it, and I hope it helps you. Let's go do that right now. Let's go. Okay, so just carrying on with that train of thought, in my head, this is the best positioning to take on this team. Now, this is a punch across. I've done punch-ups. They get hairy, which is another reason why I think this team is going to primarily be a defense team, which I hate to say. I hate that. I really, really do. But just the punch-up gets very sketchy. But anyway, let's go here. We'll do the punch across. This is a gear tier 17 enemy Redhulk, not my Redhulk. But what I like to do is I like to put Hulk in the back right with A-Bomb and She-Hulk adjacent. It's important that it's those two because I don't want Brawn or Redhulk getting turn meter rebound. The reason we do that is to ensure that the enemy is hitting me more often than I'm hitting them. Makes my Redhulk go first, my battlefield effects get put in play first, and we get to kind of use that to our advantage. Another reason I wanted A-Bomb rewound is because I want him to get stunned. I don't want him to take a turn. I don't want my Brawn stunned because I want him to get immunity out there, and I don't want my Redhulk to get turn meter rebound or take any damage because that just sucks. Next thing I want to do is just use the basic from Redhulk here because I do not want to rewind the enemy She-Hulk. And next I want to use Brawn Special. This is going to give all my characters immunity, and now I'm not worried about the She-Hulk stun coming in. She targets my Redhulk. I know that's based on something, I believe it's damage maybe that She-Hulk does, and Redhulk is going to have the most because he will not be having the offense down from the enemy Redhulk. And even if he doesn't get, or even if like She-Hulk and A-Bomb don't get the offense down, Redhulk's damage is pretty crazy, so he should have the highest damage. But anyway, I now get to use my Redhulk ultimate before the enemy Redhulk. The enemy Redhulk was even only at 3 charges. Unfortunately, She-Hulk passive does give him charges. Now it looked like the A-Bomb, or sorry, the Redhulk ultimate gave him 2, but no, that was the She-Hulk passive that did it. Now we're stuck behind the Hulk taunt, but that's okay. Go ahead and break through it right there. Here comes the enemy Redhulk ultimate. It does get very scary, especially with a big Redhulk like this, gear tier 17. But here's where we take over. We get the defense down out there, and we take out the enemy Hulk, which is great. I'll do a turn meter rewind on the enemy Redhulk, plus just a whack of damage. Boom, She-Hulk's gone. That She-Hulk was also stunned. That helps me a lot because she's not throwing those debuffs back at me. You can't really control that. That's going to be depending on what your She-Hulk chucks at her, what's resisted, all that kind of stuff. But it is nice when it happens. So I have a couple things I can do here. I can attack the Redhulk, but he has death proof, so not much is going to come of that. Normally I like to kill Redhulk first, but it just didn't play out this way this time. But if you do get the option, I do suggest going for Redhulk first. He will also heal up quite a bit So he lost his death proof. He gets retaliated. He does heal 20% though. So that is how I approach the mirror matchup. Hopefully that'll help you if that's something you have to do. Well, guys, we're kind of just easing back into it. I did take a break after doing all those Scourge videos to hang out with my family and also play some WoW. I'm going to be streaming WoW and making content for that soon. So if you are a World of Warcraft player, let me know. I'll give you the channel info. It's going to be fun. But as always, stay happy, healthy, and have fun. I will see you guys in the next one. I got a lot to catch up on, so I think the next one we're going to do is a gold promo tier list, because I get a lot of questions about that, and I have some, maybe some unique thoughts, maybe some endgame thoughts, but some thoughts nonetheless, and I'll be happy to share that with you. But as always, take care. Bye.